Turkey admits its warplane that was taken down by Syria may have crossed into Syrian airspace in an incident threatening to set the already volatile region on fire. Midnight in Moscow. I'm Matt Trezza. Good to have you with us here on RT. Our top story, Turkey admits that its fighter jet shot down by Syria Friday may have crossed into Syrian airspace. Ankara has vowed to take, quote, necessary action against its southern neighbor, while Damascus says it acted within the bounds of international law. RT's Maria Finoshina reports.
Turkish president has tried to justify the potential crossing of the Syrian border by Turkey's fighter jet by saying that it's a routine for warplane flying at a high speed to cross frontier from time to time for short distances. Since the beginning, Syrian military officials have been saying that the plane did enter the Syrian airspace and did break the border regulations, and they had no choice but to act according to international law. And echoing the Turkish president, they've also been stressing that indeed the plane has been flying at a high speed, but also at a very low altitude, and this is the case, they say, when the plane tries to avoid air defense system. The Turkish side is also now reporting that rescue and search operation is now undergoing in the area in cooperation with the Syrian side, and of course the investigation now continues. But Turkish president has been echoing Turkish Prime Minister, who said before that Turkey is ready to take all necessary measures decisively while the details emerge. This news has come at a time of the increased violence here in Syria, and of course the incident with NATO country member fighter jet shot here in Syria could provoke even further escalation, and many analysts even say that NATO could get involved. Turkey has been involved in this crisis here in Syria. There have been many reports about the rebels stationed in Turkey, the rebels training in Turkey, and weapons and ammunition being smuggled through the Turkish-Syrian border. And just recently we've been hearing about CIA officers based in the southern part of the country, not far from the Syrian border, coordinating weapons delivery to the rebels inside Syria. So all that is very dangerous. The question just remains open. How far Turkey is ready to go to topple the regime and President Bashar al-Assad, someone they've been criticizing and they've been condemning for bloody crackdown against its people for a long time now.
Let's get some perspective on this from blogger Mimi Al Laham, joining us live from Dubai. So what's been the reaction that you've been seeing among Syrians to this incident with the Turkish jet?
Well, for the last 15 months, we have seen Turkey acting against Syria in very, very aggressive ways of funding these terrorists within the Turkish border monetarily and providing them safe haven, training, and weapons. And the Syrian people have been quite frustrated in that Syria has not actually acted against Turkey, or these countries they are doing actions that they create wars. This is like a declaration of war when you have these terrorists in your borders being armed and then sending them over the border to kill people. This is a declaration of war. So Syrians have been very, very frustrated by the inaction.
I don't understand how this could be a declaration of war. I mean, perhaps what some analysts are saying that this is a reconnaissance flight that simply crossed the border when it got too close.
Well, this is what Turkey is saying now because they're trying to downplay the situation. I feel that they don't actually want it to escalate into a war, so they have been downplaying it. But the Syrian people are quite happy to see that Syria has defended its airspace. They have stood its ground, and they're feeling quite proud that this has taken place.
When you say the Syrian people, you're talking about those who support the regime.
Well, not necessarily, because I, for one, am not a supporter of the government. However, I am definitely against these foreign entities trying to create war in my country. So I'm definitely in favor of defending Syrian sovereignty in any case. There's many Syrians inside Syria that are just like me. It's not a case of being for or against the government. It's a case of defending Syria, your homeland, against what is clearly foreign-led NATO, GCC countries, Turkey and Israel agenda.
So when you say Syrians like you, how do you classify yourself? If you say you're not for the regime, do you side yourself with the opposition, or what do you want to see happen in Syria?
Well, what we refer to ourselves as the patriotic opposition. We firmly want to see peace restored in our country and to defend the sovereignty of the nation. And we feel the only way to see this happen is for reforms to be allowed to take place peacefully without countries like the US and Qatar, Saudi Arabia sending money to these insurgents and basically foreign mercenaries such as Libyans and Saudis to create destruction and chaos in our country.
So what do you think about the Annan plan?
Well, with the Annan plan, I think it's basically just the UN is a body that's controlled by the US, and it's totally not neutral. And the Annan plan is just a means
But this is the first plan that has everyone on board with it. All the members of the Security Council are saying that they are backing the Annan plan.
Well, you know, these are just political games. At the end of the day, the Annan plan is a way to get the rebels to re-entrench and rearm. It's not to create peace within Syria.
But isn't it a way to get both sides to lay down their arms and move forward with a negotiated process that can bring the country through a transition?
I don't feel that many of the members inside the UN who voted for this plan feel this way. Perhaps some do. Some members, such as Syria and its allies, feel that this is the way they want to see the plan go. But Annan himself and many other members of the Security Council don't see the plan this way. They see it as a way to stop only the Syrian government from and the military from stopping and fighting the insurgents. They want only the Syrian government to stop. They don't want the rebels to stop, and even the rebels did not agree to the plan themselves. It's factionalized, so some factions agreed to it and others didn't. And yet the Syrian government is expected to not fight back against people who are firing at them. So I just feel that because of these members in the Security Council, the plan is going to fail because they are undermining it. So in that way, these members, let's name them the US, they are using the plan in a different way, which is not what it's designed to do, which is create peace in Syria.
All right, we have to leave it there. Syrian activist and blogger Mimi Al Laham, thanks for your time.
Thank you.